So you were born in 1933?
1930.
1930. Okay, so right after the Great Depression. And you ever wondered how two people can build an entire empire together? Well, this is my grandmother, and she's 94 years old now. I shot this a few years ago. She was born in a dirt floor shack of the Ozark Mountains in the middle of the Great Depression. She was married at 19 to my grandfather, and he started a business in his chicken coop chiseling wood, which is now a multi-million-dollar manufacturing facility. And my grandmother started what is now the most accredited daycare in the state of Indiana. They are extremely loved and respected individuals in their community. My grandfather passed away about 15 years ago, and they're just absolutely amazing people, and they lived amazing lives. And I just wanted to sit down with my grandmother and ask her as many questions as I could before I can't anymore because I wasn't able to ask these questions to my grandfather. My grandparents built a small empire from literally nothing, and you'll see this through this video. In fact, my grandmother was born premature in the winter and was kept alive in a wood stove oven by an Indian midwife. Have some pretty crazy stories and lives, but they literally started from nothing and built an entire empire through the 59 years of their marriage. And they're just amazing people, and I wanted to record this video and share it with anybody. So if you're someone who values marriage or values building together as a partnership, my grandparents are the epitome of that, and I wanted to ask her as many questions as I could to learn about her and how they did it. So I hope you enjoy this video. So you're born in 1933?
1930.
1930. Okay, so right after the Great Depression in Ozark Mountains, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I was born in Reed Springs, Missouri, in the Ozark Mountains.
Yeah.
And the Indian midwife that delivered me told my mother that I was no good baby. I was 2.5 pounds on the chicken scales, and I probably wouldn't make it. And she might as well pitch me out the back door.
Wasn't it wintertime?
In the winter, in the snow. And Mother said, "Give me that baby now." And I guess she took me and warmed me in an oven because I was cold, I guess.
It was a wood stove oven, wasn't it?
Wood stove, yeah.
Was it was that the dirt floor shack?
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard, but
You're too young to remember.
I was too young to remember.
Okay.
Then we moved to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, where my mother was raised. She was.
How old were you when you moved there?
I can remember going to school at the Lutheran Church school when I was like 5 years old. Mm-hmm. I started in school. We walked to school.
Is that when the wolf?
Yes,
wolf story?
That was where where the wolf came in. It was a snowy day, and my sisters, Dorothy and Eileen and I, were walking, and we were all just going along the fence line and walking to school. And we heard a gunshot real loud, real close to us. And we turned around, and there was a farmer that had come out of his barn on the other side of the fence and shot from a window. He came running, and he said the wolf was stalking us. He was only he said 20 feet behind us.
Yeah.
And we didn't see him.
Just three of you?
The three of us, Dorothy, Eileen, and me, Nadine.
Were you a middle child, or were you the youngest or the oldest? Or
I was right in the middle. Dorothy, Eileen, Nadine, Jack, my brother. He was the only boy. Mm-hmm. 7 girls and 1 boy.
Okay, so 8 total?
8 children.
Wow.
My brother had 8 children. And we moved into Tulsa. And I can remember going to school there in Tulsa when I was just young, too. We went to the Lutheran school in Broken Arrow, and then we moved. And I think I was in the 3rd grade when we entered the public school in Tulsa. And the teacher told Mother that I was in the wrong class, that I could not be in the 3rd grade. I wasn't old enough.
Okay.
And because I made good grades, and when we went into the public school, I was 3rd grader.
Did you always make good grades?
I made good grades, I guess, in my younger age.
Yeah. What about when you were in high school? I know.
And when I was in high school, I just made
Yeah.
I was all right.
I've noticed that all the women in our family are really good at school, and all the guys are terrible at it. Didn't you say that you grew up without shoes until you were 7?
Oh, you're talking about when we moved to another home in the outskirts of Tulsa.
Yeah.
Now Tulsa was a big city, and Broken Arrow was small, and we moved into the big city, and they had school buses, and we had never ridden a school bus before because we'd walked to school from our place in Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
And I was barefooted, and I got on the bus, and this young girl turned to me and she said, "Nadine Riggin, why don't you ever wear shoes?"
So you got picked on for not having shoes?
Yeah. And I turned around and I said, "I don't like shoes. I wouldn't wear any shoes if I had any."
That seems to be a theme in the family, because I know my dad didn't wear shoes a lot when he was a teenager, and when I would drive my car a lot, I wouldn't wear my shoes. You moved to Muncie. When did you move to Muncie? When did you move to Indiana?
I was 15 years old when we moved to Yorktown, Indiana.
Yeah. Did you meet Grandpa when you were in the same year you guys got married?
I met your dad after I graduated from high school.
Okay. 18?
I was 17.
Okay. How long did you guys date before you got married?
About 6 months.
Yeah.
About 6 months.
That's crazy. It's rare for people to do that nowadays. Get married that quickly. So then Grandpa started the business in 47 and out of his chicken coop. Okay, so quick backstory. Ignore the wad in my nose. I got a bloody nose right now. So in 1947, my grandmother and grandfather got married, and my grandfather actually started his business. This is the business now that I was actually supposed to inherit, but after working there for 12 years, I turned in my 2 weeks to my father to start a YouTube channel from scratch, and now we're here. But anyways, in 1947, my grandfather was working for a local company here in Muncie, Indiana, as a pattern maker. So he was a mahogany pattern maker, which is basically a dead art now. It's a dead skill. Very rare to meet somebody like this. The only person I know that is a trained mahogany pattern maker is my father and my uncle. But back in the day, a lot of people think that Detroit was the epicenter of manufacturing, and like most of the stuff that was made in America came from like Chicago and Detroit. But actually everything from Detroit and Chicago south to the Mississippi and Ohio River were all manufacturing facilities. So Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, all of those towns were manufacturing towns, and Muncie was one of those towns. So mahogany pattern makers were highly skilled craftsmen that would chisel and cut wood to make patterns that would then be used to mass produce things on assembly lines or molding lines. So if like metal castings, I don't have any here right now. Actually, let me grab one real quick. Okay, so this is the first pattern that I ever made. And this is a pattern of a Thor hammer, which makes this. Let me clip this mic on here real quick. So this is not mahogany. This is actually ABS 3D printed plastic that I made in 2011. I was trained with 3D design and CAD CAM engineering. My father taught me the art of pattern making, but I used 3D printers to do this took me like 3 days to do this. It would have took my grandfather or father in 1947. This would have taken probably 3 to 4 months, maybe a little bit faster with a skilled person, but yeah, I come from a generation of pattern makers that started off with mahogany pattern makers. Now, that then creates this aluminum casting. Essentially, that board is used to make a sand mold, which then you pour molten metal into, and then out pops a metal casting. I've got videos that are really old on my YouTube channel. If you want to go back and look them, just search green sand molding process. And this is also another really cool piece of history. This is actually a match plate. So this is actually aluminum. This is an aluminum casting specifically that makes aluminum castings. But this is the SL68 pump gun from Tippmann Sports or Tippmann Paintball. This is one of the first paintball markers that was ever made. And this pattern specifically ended up building a company over $140 million. So yeah, crazy beginnings. This one was made in like 1987. Anyways, I'm tangenting. So the point is, in 1947, my grandfather was working for a local pattern shop in Muncie, making 90 cents an hour. The foreman promised him a nickel raise in 90 days, and he didn't give it to him at the end of the 90 days. So my grandfather said, screw you, quit, and started his own pattern shop in his chicken coop in the back of his farmhouse, which then grew into the business that it is now. So just wanted to give that quick backstory. Also, you're going to hear some names in this video that my grandma was talking about. Greg is my father, and Denise is my aunt, brother and sisters.
And
I remember you telling me that you guys never fought when you were married.
no,
Like, never?
No, we didn't. We really didn't. I tell you, we were very compatible together, and just enjoyed our life together.
Yeah.
And the children. That was, and then we had dogs.
Yeah.
We usually had about 2 dogs, and sometimes a cat too. We had pets.
Yeah. And we've always been animal people. I miss not having a dog. I guess we've talked a lot about, like, you growing up, the family and all that stuff, and building businesses. But one thing that I've never talked with you about is dating.
Is what?
Is dating girls. So I'm getting to the age now where I'm past my wild side. I cut the long hair off. Starting to look for somebody that I can build with. And us, you and Grandpa are, in my eyes, the ideal relationship. You guys work together.
We loved each other dearly.
Yeah.
And Gerald told his mother that first night of our first date, he came home and told his mother, I met the girl I'm going to marry, but she doesn't know it yet.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, times had to get rough a lot.
What was that?
There's times when you guys when life would get rough, obviously. When you were in your marriage, like, how do you, I don't know really what I'm asking or what I'm looking for. If I was to look for a woman to build with, what would I look for? What do you think makes a good?
Well, the first thing about it is we loved each other dearly.
Yeah.
And so we really didn't have much to argue or fight about, really.
Yeah.
We just, we had our children. Now, I lost the first baby, and that was the sad part in our life.
Yeah.
But then along came Denise, and then Greg. And so we were blessed. We had a good marriage and a good life. Gerald was a hard worker.
Yeah.
And then I had been working for Associates Investment Company, but I quit that job when Gerald and I got married. And he didn't really want me to. I worked there for a while, but not long.
Yeah.
And then along came the babies, and so I didn't work after that.
Yeah. So he was always working out in the backyard in the shed?
Yeah. Well, by that time he had built, a smaller building.
Okay.
And he had a smaller building.
Did it always feel like you guys were a team?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We were compatible, and I can't even really think of a time that we ever had a serious argument, unless it might have been at some time or other over animals. I was a little bit over on the bait. I liked animals. And anything that came in our backyard, if it crossed it, it got fed.
Yeah, you're still doing that.
I'm still doing that.
The count of the stray cats is what, like 30 something outside?
I mean, how many cats did we have?
Yeah.
We had 40.
40. So you carry about animals a lot.
But
that reminds me when I remember the stories of the hobos off the train. You used to, when in the 1950s or 60s, homeless people would jump off the trains and stay with you at your house, right?
No.
No?
No, not that. Never. No. Now we, here, we didn't have hardly any. I think maybe 1 or 2 stopped.
Yeah.
And I always fed them.
Okay, you fed them, but you didn't.
Fed them and everything, but no, not.
Didn't let them stay.
No, not. But in Yorktown, when I lived in Yorktown, my mother was very tender-hearted, and that's the place where hobos came.
Okay.
But here that's not so.
Okay.
You know.
So you and great grandma were always super generous and caring about people.
Well, anybody that came to our door, if we had anything, she'd share it.
Yeah.
You know, and any animal also. we had a few animals that came daily.
Yeah. I don't know. What advice would you give me for looking for a woman to marry?
From my own experience, you know, you'll know it when you see her.
Yeah. That's true.
That's what happened with us.
It's just hard to believe that you guys never had a fight. That's crazy.
We never disagreed really on. Well, the only thing that we ever slightly disagreed on was my animals.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of tempted to feed every animal that came to the door.
Mm-hmm. How many hours would Grandpa work usually? Did he work every day?
Yes, he worked sometimes all night.
Yeah.
And when the pattern shop was, he built the little building, first building, they worked all night sometimes.
Yeah. 7 days a week, or would he take Sundays off?
He what?
Would he take Sundays off, or would he work Saturdays and Sundays?
There were weekends that he worked, but we went to church too.
Okay.
So, on Sundays, but we...
Were you guys always big into church?
Pardon?
Were you always big into church?
We always attended the Yorktown United Methodist Church.
Yeah.
But we had a good marriage, and I'm very thankful, very grateful.
Yeah.
And I enjoy my grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you guys...
Yeah.
To me, it's just amazing what you guys started at.
Yeah.
Literally,
and
you didn't have shoes.
I'm going to be 91 pretty soon.
Yeah. You and Grandpa both built your own businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he helped me.
Yeah.
He was with me all the way on everything.
What did he help you with the most?
Well, when I decided, that I wanted to do something with my life, because the children were grown, mm-hmm. Not Jason and Jason. That's my son-in-law. Greg and Denise were, grown up and everything, and I decided I wanted to do something, so I started the nursery school.
Yeah. You, that was what year, 1970?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Your first students were, how many kids did you have, like 4 or 5 the first?
4.
4 the first year?
He had to finance me for a long time,
yeah.
like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I didn't charge much. And I just enjoyed the children.
Yeah.
And my nest wasn't empty anymore.
Yeah. How many students did you have by the time, like 4 or 5 years deep?
How many now or how many then?
Well, how many now?
How many now?
Yeah.
I believe there's 85.
85 that's
and I started with 4 students.
Yeah.
And I charged very little, $25.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot more than it is now.
But I enjoyed them, and it just we never advertised.
Yeah, just word of mouth.
Just word of mouth, and it really boomed.
It still works. A lot of times when I'm around town, I can say, "Hey, do you know Nadine Phillips or Denise?" and everybody knows you.
Oh my! Well, I hope it's good.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody that didn't like you.
Well, thank you. I don't think I ever met anybody I didn't like.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you cuss. Dad heard you cuss once, but I've never heard you cuss.
I don't remember.
Far and few between.
Huh?
Far and few between.
Far what?
Far and few between.
Oh.
Maybe once every 10 years.
I don't know, but I've been blessed.
Yeah.
And I'm still being blessed. I'm going to be 91. and I'm enjoying life immensely, because I have my great grandchildren and my grandchildren and my family.
Yeah, that's crazy. Great grandchildren now.
Uh-huh.
You got a few.
Yeah, I got a few great grandchildren and grandchildren, and so I enjoy them immensely, and they're here quite a bit.
Yeah. Is there anything that you tried to teach Denise and my dad and Greg growing up, like specific things that you wanted them to learn?
Well, we wanted them to be, of course, Christians,
Yeah.
which they were, and we wanted them to always be honest, and if they did something wrong, admit it.
That's something that my dad taught me a lot, was honesty. He's like, above all else, your word is the most valuable thing that you have. Don't lie, because it damages it.
You what now?
Your word, my dad used to teach me that your word is the most valuable thing that you have, so don't lie because it damages that.
Well, and to be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind to everybody, and it's worked.
Yeah.
It's worked down through the years.
And don't steal. I remember. Do you remember the story of the kid that stole from Grandpa, from Gerald? My dad used to tell me that story. The kid that came over and he stole a quarter once.
I don't remember that very much. It's very vague.
I have to talk to my dad on it.
Yeah, you would have to, because
Essentially, Grandpa kicked the kid out. He was like 7 years old, threw him out of the house because he stole a quarter.
Well, we just were very lucky, very fortunate,
Yeah.
to have such a really good marriage and have our children, and I wish Gerald could still be with us so he can enjoy these great grandchildren.
I know, me too. I wish he was around.
Yeah, he was really a great person, honest and very loving, and we just were together.
Yeah.
And I just am thankful for that and grateful.
Yeah, it's amazing, honestly, your marriage and life and how everything turned out. The fact that you never fought.
Well, we just seem to agree on most things.
Yeah.
But
So you were always in alignment with everything that you guys did. You always. Did you guys communicate a lot? Did you guys talk about like plans and what you were doing, or?
Oh yeah,
All the time?
We'd plan ahead and everything on doing things, and I was just very very grateful. And
So was communication a major point in the marriage? You guys would always, be on the same page with everything that you're doing?
yes, yeah, we just talk it out,
Yeah.
Well, when I first said what I wanted to do, about the nursery school, he was a little hesitant, I think.
Yeah.
But he said, "Well, okay, let's get on with it."
Did you have to convince him, or did he?
Well, I just felt like I could do more than what I was doing,
Yeah.
and enjoy life more with a purpose. The children were older when I started the school,
Yeah.
and it grew real fast and was just it didn't bring in much money.
Yeah.
Because I didn't charge very much, but about the third year of the nursery school, I remember that I think I raised the price a little bit on the school, and then I had a little bit more money to pay my own bills.
Yeah.
Because see, he was having to stand the expense of a nursery school. Because I didn't charge very much.
Is there anything that you'd want to teach Rhea and Etta and Camille and the kids as they grow up? Like what?
Well, their parents are doing a very good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that. So
I don't think they're gonna have an issue with competition.
I get to cuddle and laugh and they stay overnight, with us and stuff, and
Yeah.
we're just happy campers when they're here. So
Yeah, you definitely did a good job raising your kids.
well, I'm proud of my children, my two. The loss of my first baby was the tragedy in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like that brought you and Grandpa together close
Oh,
at such a young age?
we were always close.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, but the loss
jump.
of the baby was hard, hard for us. But along came Denise and Greg, and it was good. It was good. Life was good for us, and I thank the good Lord for all of that.
Yeah.
He was always guiding us, I think. And but I miss him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely a major impact on me. I didn't realize it for a long time. You know, when I was younger, I was all over the place.
Oh.
But yeah, Grandpa really showed me the direction that I want to take my life.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, his funeral's honestly probably, I don't know if I ever told you this, his funeral was probably the most impactful day of my life.
Oh.
I didn't realize it for a long time. Probably took 10 years, honestly, till I was 25, till I was 27. I just remember standing in calling hours for like 4 or 5 hours, just shaking people's hands. So many people showed up to that funeral, and he was.
I'm thinking that someone said there was like 400.
It was a lot. I stood in line for like, and he was 82.
Uh-huh.
You don't have a lot of friends at 82 years old.
Well,
Most people don't. He really was.
He was a very honest person.
He was a hell of a man.
Yeah.
I realized that day that everything that you do in life gets added up on the day you die, and like your funeral is the result of your life. And I don't know. It's a moment in my life that I've always gone back to and thought about. And it's really shown me a lot of clarity in what I need to do in my life and what I need to fix and what I need to work on.
Well, I'm so glad that you got to know him, and
I'm glad you're my grandma.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm your grandma too. And I will make the chicken and noodles for you when you come next time.
Yeah. All right. I'll come home for that. I'll definitely come home for that. Yeah, it's that and Nick, when Nick passed away.
That was a big tragedy.
Yeah, but he showed. I mean, he had 3 funerals in 3 different states, and hundreds of people showed up to those. And he showed me a lot about how to live life and how to not live life.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad because my 2 children are the joy of my life.
Yeah.
And the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, like, I'm only going to be 91 this year, and I could be getting great-great-grandchildren.
We'll see. How old did your mom live to? Wasn't she like 93?
My mother lived to be 93. You're right. How'd you remember that?
I don't know. I remember going over to her house. She used to live over in Yorktown.
Uh-huh.
I remember that.
Right. Oh, you were there? I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
She was a very good woman.
Yeah.
My mother.
That's what I heard.
Very good person. Honest, lovable, and...
What do you think makes a good person? Obviously honesty, being sincere and straight and kind. What else do you look for in a good person?
Well...
Or are you just so good at it you can tell?
I tell you, my grandparents, who we lived around with a lot of times in early life, they were the same way. They were honest farmers, honest, good people, and I remember a band of gypsies coming to their house one time.
Yeah.
And I know my mother gave them some canned goods and stuff to eat. They were hungry, they said, and she gave them all kinds of that we had canned. And they camped out on a hill, right close to us. Mm-hmm. And they were gone the next morning when we woke up. But we went up the hill to where they had camped out, and there was lots and lots of broken jars where they had. Now, whether they ate the food in the jars or not, but they broke the jars, which we never did understand why they broke the jars. Maybe it's something in their religion, in their life, or something. So we picked up the remnants of the jars, and we never did see them again, but we did feed them.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always, kindness has always been important thing. That's one thing I remember when at Grandpa's funeral, people. I just now remember that some of the guys that came through were like people that worked for Grandpa, and they said that he was almost like a father to him.
Right.
There was one guy that told me he was a convict and he couldn't get a job anywhere. He was a convict or a drug addict or something. He couldn't get a job anywhere. My grandpa gave him a job, and then worked for him for 15 years and put his kids through school and everything. And he really cared about the people that worked under him.
Oh, he did.
It wasn't like businesses today where it's just, fire him and hire somebody else and, nobody matters. He really cared about
cared. He did. He was a very caring, loving person. And I was lucky to be married to him.
Was he always like that, or did he develop that as he got older?
He was like that from the day we were married. He was always kind and good and honest to everything.
Yeah.
And
well, his life definitely played out to show the value of that. Yeah, well, I would say above all else, he was honest, kind, extremely hardworking.
Yeah. Well, we were lucky that we had, the 58, almost 59 years together. Yeah. 59.
59. Mm-hmm. I remember your 55 anniversary, I think. Honestly, I'm really lucky to have you. I'm blessed to have you and Grandpa's grandparents. Really lucked out.
Well, I feel like I'm lucky to have you.
Well, you created me in a roundabout way, so.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm very fortunate. I live here with Denise.
Yeah.
And we're very, very we're on the same page. We enjoy life together. And she's very kind.
Yeah.
She's very kind, and I just enjoy life with her. Enjoy my life with her. Of course, I miss Carol. I always will. There's that phone. Oh, I won't get it.
Yeah, we'll just let it ring. Was the family always super tight, even like when you guys were young? Did anybody else live in Muncie? Like Larry lived in Muncie? Was there anybody else that lived in Muncie, as far as your siblings, sisters, or anything?
Oh yeah, I had siblings that live around. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many? Who's the oldest that's still around?
The oldest that's still around is me. The oldest here. Eileen lives in up north.
Sonny's younger?
Eileen is older than I am.
Yeah. What about Sonny?
And she lives up in near it's Lafayette, in that area. Mm-hmm. And then so does my other two sisters.
Yeah.
Sonia and Sarah.
Did you ever go up there and hang out with Sonny when they were younger? For reference that people don't know, your sister is the mother of Izzy Stradlin from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, Izzy Stradlin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonia.
Yeah,
Sonia is the mother of him. That was a good part of Sonia's life.
Yeah.
Her son. And he's still very generous with her. 94. She's probably in her, she's 80-something.
Yeah.
88 maybe.
I haven't seen her in a long time. I wish I had known when she swung by a couple weeks ago when I came and saw her.
Oh yeah, she comes quite often.
Yeah.
I'll have to make sure you guys get together.
Yeah, definitely. When I should be back in like a month and a half, and then have her come down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell her that you want to meet her.
Never had a bad time with her.
She's a delightful person.
Yeah. So it feels like it runs in the family.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, my brother Jack lives in Florida.
Yeah.
He's the only boy in the family.
What's he like? Is he nice too?
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
We even though he's miles apart, we're still close.
Yeah. Where do you think Grandpa's work ethic came from? Was he because great grandpa was an alcoholic, right? He drank all the time.
I don't remember because I don't remember them.
Okay. Well, Gerald's dad.
Gerald's dad?
Yeah, wasn't he an alcoholic?
Oh no, not that I know of.
Yeah.
No, he was a real good person.
Yeah.
Very kind.
That's what I heard too. Everybody loved him.
Right. But my dad was an alcoholic.
Was it?
It's my dad probably that you're thinking about.
Maybe.
But no, Gerald's dad was a hard worker and everything. Good worker. And
did your mom and dad stay married forever?
yeah, they were married for, when I think they were married probably 60-some years.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
but he was an alcoholic. My dad was. He was way up there.
Yeah.
And 90, I think. And my mother was 92.
What did your dad do for work?
Well, when he was sober, he did all kinds of jobs. He was all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was that way.
Yeah. What about your mom? Was she just always
my mother was top of the line.
Yeah.
She, was really a good person and really, cared about the children, and, she was just a good person.
Yeah.
Now it seems like to me then that, she was pretty old.
Yeah.
And now that I'm going to be 91, I don't think it's quite that way.
What do you think the biggest difference is in life nowadays versus back when you grew up?
The difference in life now than when?
When you were a kid,
when I was a child,
when you were growing up. Yeah.
Well, I of course it advances everything. The world gets better and better.
Yeah. Do you feel like the people changed, or are people the same no matter where you go?
Well, everybody that I was ever with, my grandparents were kind, good people, good farmers, and I was raised in the area of love.
Yeah.
And so I love all my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids. But I feel like God has blessed me.
Yeah. Took a lot of work, though. You worked at it definitely a lot.
Well, if it was work, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Never felt bad.
Only when the business on the school bus, I felt bad I didn't have any shoes.
Did you go home and tell Mom?
What?
Did you go home and tell Mom that you needed to get shoes?
I don't remember that. I probably didn't. Because if I could have had shoes, she would have had them on me.
Yeah. So you just didn't like shoes.
But, that 8 children, that's a lot to feed.
Yeah. A lot of shoes.
Well, yeah, we cornbread and beans was our staple.
Yeah.
But we love cornbread and beans.
Yeah, cornbread. I love cornbread.
Do you? Do you like beans? I do. I still to this day, even though I ate a ton of them when I was growing up.
Depends on the beans. When I was down in Texas, I had for the first time cowboy beans, which is like a big pot over a fire. They throw in like a bunch of different beans and just let it cook for hours. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that sounds good.
I never thought I would like beans as much as I like those beans.
Well, make them for me.
I don't know how they did it. I was like, tell me how this is done. I'm sure it's some simple recipe, but it was really good. I heard there's a lot of cilantro.
Well,
yeah, I need to pick up some food when I'm traveling. Figure out some like cuisines from different states.
Well, I'll be glad when you come to the time where you don't do quite so much traveling and stay here.
We'll see. You gotta, like you said there, you gotta do what you love.
That's right.
I love traveling. I love meeting people and talking to people. I know you don't like me traveling, but I'll enjoy it. I just need to make more money so I can come back more.
Well, you do what you are best at, what you enjoy and like. It's your life.
Yeah. I feel like that's really important, and it's you definitely enjoy life the most when you're doing stuff that you enjoy.
Well, you what now?
You definitely enjoy life the most when you're doing stuff that you enjoy.
Oh yeah.
It's just figuring out how to make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess kids, that's a prime example. You love kids.
Oh my!
Now,
I enjoyed that nursery school, and I still do. I can go up there and play anytime I want to.
yeah. Do you know, is it I heard it's the only preschool and nursery that has a pool, and
As far as we know,
yeah.
She has so much to offer.
Yeah.
With the pool. Of course, I did too.
Didn't the inspector say that it's the best one they ever saw in Indiana?
Well, one of the inspectors said that she didn't believe that there was another nursery school in Indiana like this, that that offered so much for the children.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her that I was glad that I had it so many years and enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
And she's doing the same thing.
Well, the Foundry's one of the last ones in Indiana as well. That's still
the
around.
Foundry.
Do you remember? My dad's told me many stories of the business. They lost like 90% of their business 4 times over the years, like the 1960s and 1950s, and then the 1970s, and then the 1990, and then the 08 housing market crash. Do you remember any of those times?
Well,
when they got tough?
I remember times that business was slow.
Yeah.
But we always had a good living. We always made a good living.
How did Grandpa handle those stressful situations? Do you know? Did he keep to himself, or did he talk to you a lot about like when the business was doing rough?
Well, we shared a lot of things together, but I can't remember that he ever was ever really worried.
Yeah.
That the shop would go, because it always did.
I remember my dad told me there was a time in the 1980s where Grandpa was real close to packing it up and just selling it and getting out of it. Do you remember that? Did he ever talk to you about that?
Oh, I vaguely remember that there was, like that, but it bounces back.
Yeah.
All the
Cycles.
Yeah. You just expect that when.
Was the nursery like that? Did the nursery go up and down a lot too?
The nursery never did go down. It just kept going up. we have a swimming pool. They teach swimming. And shit. So I never dreamed that it would grow like this.
Yeah.
But it is definitely very, very good.
Yeah. All right. One of the big stories that that my dad used to tell me was the day the barn burnt down. So you guys are still living here, and Grandpa was building the barn. I think my dad was like 10 or 15 years old. Grandpa was building the barn, the new building out in the country in like 6 months.
Yeah, We bought some land out there.
Yeah.
And there was a barn there.
And he probably spent 6 months or so building it.
Yeah, he did a really good job at anything he did.
Yeah.
Gerald did, and his main concern when the barn caught fire was to get the animals out.
Yeah.
And which he did. Didn't lose an animal in that fire. Everybody got out.
Yeah, the story that my dad told me was that my dad, Greg, was playing in the street, playing basketball, and saw the truck coming down the road, or Grandpa coming down the road, and I think the dog was barking, because the dog would always know when he was coming. And he pulled up and got out of his car, and Grandpa was covered head to toe in black.
Right. They were covered with soot and smoke and everything. But
my dad said that he went inside, sat down and didn't say a word, and just pulled out his checkbook and started doing the numbers, and then took a shower and went to bed. like nothing, like it's just another day.
Well, that was a sad part, that the barn burned.
Yeah.
But
today though, it's just a different type of toughness.
It's what?
A different type of toughness, resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Did he ever complain? Did Gerald ever complain about anything, or was he always just did the work? And
well, I suppose at times there was, something or other come up, but we were just lucky.
Yeah.
We were fortunate to just be so compatible and everything was, went good.
Yeah.
The death of our first child was the
That's a big thing.
that was the tragedy in our life that we lost. But then along came two others that we just adore, and they're successful in life too.
Yeah.
And we're happy that they are.
Something I've realized as I get older is the hard parts in life make the good parts in life a lot better.
Well, that's true.
Would you agree?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's I've tried to learn these past couple of years to embrace the times that it sucks. the days that it's just not good. It's just like, well,
tomorrow will be better.
It'll be better. It's temporary.
You're right. Well, there's always a good side coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't all be bad.
That's right. And I've enjoyed a good life. Enjoyed having, a lot of things that I didn't have when I was little, made up for almost.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on? I heard something once that if you spoil your kids, or the more you give your kids, the more you rob them of the opportunity of doing it themselves.
Well, I don't know about that. We were always generous with our children because that's the way we were.
And they turned out pretty good.
They turned out really good. They turned out excellent. And they have excellent children.
Stop it.
And I'm looking at one of them.
You make me blush, Grandma.
Yeah, you did. I can see it. I gotcha.
I do love you, Grandma. You're an amazing woman.
Oh, well, I love you too, honey bunch.
It's I feel bad for all the girls that come in my life because they always have to match up to you.
Oh, God. Oh my gosh, honey. Well, I don't think I'm that extraordinary, to tell you the truth. I'm just a woman.
Yeah.
But
you're not a normal woman. At least I don't think you are. Maybe I'm a bit biased.
But I try to be kind and try to treat everybody the way I'd want to be treated.
Yeah.
And it pays off. It happens.
Yeah. I really think that's the key. I think that's the key to life. Honestly, the more I think about it over these years, you and Grandpa, Grandpa made money by helping people.
Uh-huh.
You made money by helping people. And people like being around people that help people.
Yeah, I didn't make so much money.
Yeah. Well, but you still built a business that now makes a lot of money and sustains the family. But it all comes down to just being nice to people. Like, honestly, you can get really far in life if you're just honest and nice to people.
Well, I think people are usually always very nice. We don't run across
we must be different people.
Too many that aren't. I don't think.
I've met some not so nice people.
I'm sure you know a lot of nice people.
I do know a lot of nice people.
Uh-huh. However, Denise kind of was a little worried about our 40 cats.
Yeah, that might be a little too nice. Maybe tone it down a bit.
Well, we found homes for them.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go to homes that, I know are good people and good to them.
How many are there still cats out there, or do they catch them all?
No, we have probably 6 out there right now.
Okay. Are you still trying to catch them?
No, we don't try to catch them.
Oh, they're neutered?
We just feed them. Yeah, we've got them neutered.
Okay, so you got to keep 6.
Huh?
You got to keep 6.
I've got at least 6, maybe a little more. You want me to go and look out in the back door and count them?
We can look in a little
Be
bit.
quiet. Can you see them? I'll go out there. They're usually out here on this side.
Yeah.
But they're happy little campers.
Yeah. Yeah, you are the nicest person I've ever met.
Oh,
I don't think I know anybody who I mean, other than maybe my other grandma, but
You're going to make me cry. Gosh, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I just enjoy my children, enjoy my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, and that's a great part of my life.
Yeah.
And it just revolves.
yeah.
You know, I'm tickled to death when I see you come.
I'm excited to see you every time I come over.
Yeah.
Wish I could come over too more.
Well,
I don't like being gone for so long.
you what?
I don't like being gone for so long.
Well, I don't like you being gone so long, but I don't say anything about it much.
Yeah. Just guess I need to be nicer. Make more money. Be nicer to more people.
Well, I want you to have a good life.
I do.
And if you enjoy what you're doing,
I love what I do.
okay, then that's, that's good.
Wouldn't trade it. It's, I mean, I hate to say it. My life's way better now than it was working at the foundry,
Well, sure.
It was a hard decision to leave that. Yeah.
Well, foundry work is hard work.
Yeah, but I honestly enjoyed it. I especially pouring molten metal.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed pouring molten metal. Just waking up every day, not having to worry about anything, going to work, doing the job. Got a free workout every day.
Well, that's great.
It took me 2 years to make the decision to quit the foundry. My dad's still trying to get me to come back, but
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'd like to have you back.
yeah,
I would too.
yeah,
But you got to be you.
yeah, I don't think it's my path.
You what?
I don't think it's my path. I
What?
don't think the foundry's the path that I need to take in life.
Well, just be happy.
Yeah,
That's the main thing.
yeah. I was honestly surprised when I quit the foundry how calm and collected Dad was on it. I thought he was going to be upset and flip out, but he was like, "No, you gotta do what's best for you." And
Uh-huh.
he actually told me the other day, a month ago, that I asked him what was his thoughts and opinions on me quitting, and he basically said it took a lot of balls to do that, and he had to respect it. And I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
Oh, gosh. Well, life is good.
Honestly, it was Grandpa who inspired me to do it, because the story of Grandpa, where he used to work, he's making like 90 cents an hour, and they promised him a nickel raise after 90 days, and they didn't give it to him, so he quit and started the business in the chicken coop in the backyard.
I believe that was, yeah.
Yeah, so that turned into what it is today. It's crazy to look back at, seeing the photos of the chicken coop and what you can build in a lifetime. I think most people today, they focus too much on the short term. They focus too much on what's happening today and next week versus what they overestimate what they can do in a week, and they underestimate what they can do in a year. And they definitely underestimate what they can do in a lifetime.
Right.
You and Grandpa are a prime example of what you can do in a lifetime if you stay dedicated to it.
Well, I've been very fortunate. God has blessed me
Yeah.
and continues to bless me.
Yeah.
You're here. Yeah, I love having the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren around me.
Yeah.
And they come quite often. Well, I've always tried to be kind to everybody, and I just enjoy it. Enjoy being with people, and
Yeah.
I worked a lot, in my early years.
Yeah. Anytime I run into somebody that knows you, they always light up.
Oh, really?
They're always excited to talk about you. I met Frazier, my friend Nick Frazier.
Oh, yeah.
His grandpa, I don't know his name, something Frazier. But he knew Gerald. He shook my hand and said that he was a hell of a man, and did business with him. I think he did boats or something. He did business with Grandpa.
Yeah, I down through the years, I forget some of the things, but I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yep, everybody. To me, I've been blessed, and continue to be.
Yeah. I wish I could have had one of these conversations with Grandpa.
Oh my! Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah. I was too young and dumb back then.
Uh-huh.
I was focused on other things back then. I was focused on video games and friends and girls.
Well,
that's about it.
That it? Well, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Have to do it again when I come back.
Yeah.